Good morning, everybody. This is the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training, number 62, here with Paul Romero, Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner, and John J. Leister of the same. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Paul. It's Wednesday, November 12th, midweek. We're halfway through the month just about, and have you taken some actions this week? Has hopefully the people watching us today have done the first action step, which was to read the 4 chapters of the Own Your Life Plan book. And if you haven't read it, why haven't you? And if you've already read it and you thought, you know what, I don't need to do this homework because I've already read the chapters, guess what? Read them again, because this is our system, folks, and this is what we need to ingrain in our minds so that we can become amazing at our Swiss Go Global businesses.
That's absolutely right. As we mentioned before, this is the education. You need to have some knowledge. You got to have some knowledge so that you can have some excitement. Because you got to have excitement when you're talking to people about your business, because if you don't have any excitement talking about your business, they're not going to give a crap about your business. That's all there is to it. You got to get them to feel your excitement and to get excited with you, and that's how people get that's why people get involved, because they get excited. They don't care about what the business is. All they care about is, wow, this is exciting. I want to be part of this. So to recap, last Monday we talked about reading. Obviously, reading the 4 chapters of the Own Your Life Plan book. All right. So, and we also talked about if you don't have the actual book, go to ownyourlifeplan.com and read the book there, online for free, no excuses. First 4 chapters are online for free. Get you started. You got to get a book, but to finish the rest. But first 4 chapters are there, online for free. So we had you read the first 4 chapters. We suggested multiple times, but not necessarily all 4 chapters. Highly suggested you read, and actually not suggested. If you are with our team, John and my's direct downlines, this is part of your Kickstarter program that we have developed. Okay, this is where you're at right now. You're going to be reading. You're going to be learning some information, and if you did what you were supposed to do, or even if you didn't do what you were supposed to do, guess what? Today you're going to take a test. That's right. So we're going to find out, what did you actually do? Are you an action taker? Do you say what you're going to do? Because we're going to test you. And now, don't worry, we're not going to kick you off the team if you fail the test. But this is just an opportunity for us to gauge, first of all, what you've done, if you've done anything, and also, two, your advancement. What is your absorption rate, basically, of this information? So we had you read the first 4 chapters, chapter 1 especially, multiple times. I highly suggested that you also start reading on your own personal level, The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons by Napoleon Hill. And then we also, here, we required you, that's a suggestion, that's just something that I put out there for those of you who really want true success in life, is to read The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. It's not a requirement here. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe we'll test you on that later. But anyway, so we also require that you familiarize yourself with the Own Your Life Plan website and with the Swiss Gold Global website, the landing page where you will be sending your, prospective sponsors, because you need to understand what it is that you're sending people to go look at, because people are going to be interested in different aspects of this business. And before you send anybody to anywhere, I mean, what's the most important thing about sending these people somewhere in here? What do you need to know? You don't need to know. The number one thing you need to know is, what do they want? Because until you know what they want, you don't know how or where to send them to. And if you deliver the wrong message right out of the gate, you know, they're not going to get the message. They're not going to. It's not going to sink in with them. It's not going to make sense, because if they want this and you're delivering this, it's not going to happen. If they want this, you got to deliver this. So you need to know what your prospect wants, and by the knowledge of understanding what's on the website, what's on the Own Your Life Plan website, and what's in the in the chapters of the book, you'll be able to get them directed to the right place. So that's what we have so far had you do. As I said, with our team, we're going to test you basically just on your basic knowledge of the information that we had you look at here. Like I said, just as a way to just gauge like I said, your absorption rate of this information. John, you want to add anything to that?
I do want to add something to that. Requirement as part of our organization is to read and understand the Own Your Life Plan book, which we'll get into throughout these hangouts a little bit more in depth, because that's one thing that I think we've lacked on talking about over the last several hangouts is the actual system that we keep referring to, but the mindset stuff is just as important. I also want to just reiterate what you said, Paul, there about everybody that's getting involved with Swiss Gold Global, whether you're getting involved as an independent business owner or just as a member of the Wealth Club, for our monthly subscription fee of $50, why aren't you on the website more often, familiarizing yourself with it, and why aren't you utilizing all the fantastic tools that are there? And a lot of the stuff we talk about on these hangouts that have to do with mindset, business systems, there's a lot of this information by seasoned professionals with a history and a track record of success, people such as Greg Reed, as well as Bob Proctor, just to name two of the mentors with educational materials that's part of the website. So if you're an IBO, definitely want to stress the point Paul made, that is very important to begin familiarizing yourself with the Swiss Gold Global website itself, your personal Swiss Gold Global, and all the benefits you have to being an IBO and a member, so that you're familiar with those aspects of the business and the aspects of the subscription, so that you can share it with other people. And also to familiarize yourself with the Own Your Life Plan website, which is kind of a landing page, if you will, to send prospects to get an idea and an overview of Swiss Gold Global. And plus, as we stated, if you don't have this book, you can get started on the ownyourlifeplan.com website to get the first 4 chapters. And this is our system. Now, everybody's going to read this. There might be a few things that maybe don't really resonate with you, which I highly doubt. Most of this will resonate with you, and that's fine. But don't worry too much about the big picture, and worry about right now not even worry. Don't worry about the big picture. Concentrate right now on the small details, and we've already kind of laid out a simple way to get started, and basically that's familiarize yourself with the websites, get the first 4 chapters of this book read ASAP, and start to understand what network marketing is, and that's what this book will do, and Paul and I will get into that. And I just want to throw one more thing in here, because Paul mentioned the book, or the series, The Laws of Success in 16 Lessons. That's a great suggested reading. Maybe it should be required just because of the wealth of information and knowledge there, but you know what, Paul, I'm just going to throw this out there, because that might be a big intimidation for some people to get started with. It's a big thing. They're not going to be able to read it overnight, and I would say definitely consider reading that series, getting into it, and begin not only reading it but studying it. I want to say you study it, but I think a place to start for most people would be with Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, which is basically the shortened, condensed version, kind of overall 500-foot view of the laws of success. So that would be a great place to start with Napoleon Hill if you're a little intimidated by jumping into a big thing like the laws of success. Get started with Think and Grow Rich. So there's a couple of starting points here that everybody needs to do to get started with their Swiss Gold Global business. And with that, I'm going to toss it back over to Paul here.
Excuse me. Yeah, I definitely want to just expand on the law of success. Like you said, it's not something you just want to read. It's something that you want to study, because it is in actuality, and was in actuality written and designed as a study course. The intention of this book was to be a textbook, literally for a class, for starting with the intention when it was written was starting with high school age, everyone within the high school age, and expanding on these lessons throughout college. So it was designed as an actual study course. So that's why, yeah, I still suggest, if you've never seen or heard or read Napoleon Hill, absolutely pick up Think and Grow Rich and whiz through that, because that is the introduction to this sort of thing. Like John says, the bird's eye view of the overall deal. But I am thinking that we need to make this mandatory, because you know what? If people that join our team aren't willing to, take a study course, basically go back to college and take a class to learn and grow and expand, which, like I said, is what the laws of 16 lessons, laws of success in 16 lessons is, then I mean, is that anybody we even want on our team? You know what I mean? So, I mean, seriously, I mean, you've got to be able to want to put work into yourself as well as into your business if you want to have success in anything. So with that laws of success, like John says, it's a very intimidating looking book. It's about as freaking thick as my head. But but you know what? You don't have to read the whole book in a day. If you start with that book and you just read one page a day, and I'll tell you what, when you start reading that book, you can start breaking. I mean, when I started reading it, I remember you look at this book and you start reading it, and you can break down every sentence, almost every paragraph at least, within this book. So I mean, you can literally just go through and read one page and just have a wealth of just ideas and concepts and thoughts and new information just pouring into your head just from reading one page of this book, because it's stuff that a lot of it is stuff that you kind of already know, but certainly have really kind of forgotten about. But one of the key phrases, one of the key factors that he points out in the book is that, we've all heard the phrase, knowledge is power. Well, knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Organized knowledge is power, and what this book is exactly that. It's organized knowledge. So it's a lot of stuff that we already know, but it's been organized for you, and it makes sense. So that's why I say get out there and read the book, and even if it's just one page at a time. So moving forward, there's different ways that people might get you into Swiss Gold Global. If you're here from someone else's organization, we welcome you, no problem there. But there's different ways that they might have you starting out your business. This is our program, John and I's development of how we, build, get our prospects started. And you know what? We may not be as fast as other people. Some people will just be out there, boom, get out there, make calls, pick up the phone, do this, do that. Well, you know what? We understand that not everybody's prepared to just hop on the phone and go, and make an invite on day one. And although we are going to get you doing that, but not on day one, but maybe on day 3 or whatever day we decide that's going to be. But you know what? We definitely want to make sure that, you've at least got a little bit of confidence built up that'll allow you to make that first step of starting your invitations. So I just wanted to throw that up there.
Absolutely. With that being said, we look like we've got about 5 minutes. We've gave you some action steps now to take. And unless Paul's got something else in mind, I like to start just breaking down maybe a little bit about network marketing as talked about in Chapter 1 of the Own Your Life Plan book.
Absolutely. Go for it. I just want to throw in
you know what? Since we're asking everybody to start reading, not to start reading, but to at least read this week the first 4 chapters of Own Your Life Plan. And again, I know I said this a dozen times, but if you're not taking notes and writing things down, chances are you're going to have a hard time being successful in this business or in a lot of aspects of your life. So pull out your pens right now, start taking notes if you haven't already, and write this down at the top of your page, ownyourlifeplan.com. Because if you haven't read the book, there's no excuse, because the first 4 chapters are free. So let's make sure we read it this week. With that being said, I'd like to jump into Chapter 1, because Chapter 1 is all about understanding what network marketing is. And I think that's the first key element to building your business, is that you understand what the business is that we're in and what some of the common misconceptions are and what some of the pros and maybe some of the cons, which I don't really see many cons, to the business model is. And I just want to preface this by saying, a lot of people have objections to network marketing. A lot of people think it's a pyramid scheme. And this first chapter addresses a lot of that right out the gate. So we can begin, once we read this first chapter and we understand what network marketing is and what network marketing isn't, we could start building our belief system and our confidence in a system that is proven to work and has made many people rich and successful. And by the way, the author of this book, Don Falia, is also one of our mentors with Swiss Gold Global. In fact, this is a special edition of the book just made just for Swiss Gold Global's lists, Swiss Gold Global lists. But okay, so with that being said, what's the percentage, Paul? I can't remember off the top of my head, but what do they say? Something like 90% of the people out there don't understand network marketing, and then 90% of the people who are in network marketing don't understand network marketing?
Exactly, yes. 90%.
So the first thing you got to do is educate yourself about what it is. And network marketing, by the way, is one of the fastest growing segments of, I guess, a niche economy or a way of moving products and services. And it's something I think it says in this chapter that in the year 2012, nearly $167 billion worth of products and services have been moving annually through network marketing businesses. Now, that's not Swiss Gold Global sales, but that's a cumulative of network marketing. $167 billion industry, network marketing. I bet you a lot of you are probably surprised by that number, that it's that big. Why would it be that big? Because it works, because its system works. I have a lot more things I'd like to touch on from the chapter, which we'll probably get more into on Wednesday, but we're getting out of time. So I'm going to toss it back to Paul to kind of throw in a final thought or two, and then I'll let you wrap up with the prayer today, Paul.
First of all, today is Wednesday.
Oh,
but,
yeah, okay.
But yeah, exactly. And you know what? You're going to get a chance to get into that more, John, because you know what? Action step number 2 is, guys, repeat action step number 1, okay? That's what action step number 2 is. You're sitting there going, well, where's action step number 2? What are you going to be doing today, right? Where are we going next? Well, you know what? Repeat action step number 1, because in everything, you got to build a foundation, okay? If you don't have a foundation, you can build the tallest building in the world, and it's just going to fall over, all right? You can do, and that's the same thing with network marketing. And the foundation of network marketing is knowledge. It's education and knowledge. And that's what network marketing is all about. It's about educating people and offering and providing knowledge. That's how the business is built. So if you don't have it, you can't share it, and you're not going anywhere. So that's action step number 2, is to repeat action step number 1. And so you are going to get that chance, John, to go back and the reason reason why that we're doing this also is because, I mean, network marketing is all about sponsoring other people. And sponsoring means going to work for them, okay? That means you're going to work to ensure their success. So the only way that you're going to be able to go to work to ensure someone else's success is if you have some knowledge to be able to do that. And so that's why we are pounding in, you know, this first portion of the you know, learning this stuff. Step one, action step number one, read, look at the websites, familiarize yourself with all this stuff. Because when you do go out there to your first prospects and you want to start inviting people, you know, people don't want to be sold, but people do want to be convinced, okay? And you don't, you know, network marketing is not about selling. It's about sharing, and it's also about convincing. All you want to do is get out there and basically be able to convince somebody that this is something of interest, something of value, and something that they should, at the very, very least, look into with an open mind. That's our job. That's all we do. That's what we do. So anyway, with that, we're done here. Action step number 2, repeat action step number 1, and on Friday we will get you with a new action for the weekend. As John says right here, read this book and back it off a little, John. And with that, I want to say, oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, so that including the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. All right, repeat.